You know, I
That's a
know
really
it
good
didn't
idea.
happen when we were actually on stream, but I don't care. I'm going to add, I was giving you beard braiding time to the quotes.
Fair.
Okay, welcome to everybody and the top of Fishy's Head. To episode 6, God help us, of the nice little quick scenario for Castle Falkenstein.
6 episodes and we haven't finished yet. That is a quick scenario. Yeah.
Actually, true.
That's,
True.
by our standards, I mean, a one-shot takes us 3 weeks.
Yes.
I'm amazed we got through that Cyberpunk one.
Heck, I've had a one-shot game that turned into a 3-year campaign.
That sounds like the kind of stuff we do.
Yeah, Witcher 2 sessions, what was it, 11 episodes?
Something like that, yeah.
Oopsie. Right. So, yes, we are in the Chekhov observations. There is a missing scientist and artist and general all-round genius. I'm also making damn sure I'm on the right window. Hang on. That's the last thing I want is for my Facebook to be sat there or something. He has gone... The eponymous Chekhov has gone missing as of a party/exhibition. The previous night.
Yeah.
Sorry, night before last even.
I was going to say.
Oh,
it's
good.
probably the night
RPG
before.
time.
Yeah. At... no, this is still the same day.
Is it?
Yeah,
Is this still day 2?
this is still day 2.
Yeah,
Bloody hell.
because we went to
Yeah.
the colonnade earlier today.
Okay then, so yeah.
Shut up, Techie. Stop talking, Techie. Especially when I'd already muted you.
So that means this is going to be my second fight in 2 days.
Yes. Recovery time, it's a thing.
What are we playing, D&D?
Yes, last night, the eponymous Chekhov went missing. Bodies have turned up, and in trying to establish what the dickens is going on, so far you've been present at the explosion of the local Druids chapter house.
Yes.
I didn't say responsible for.
No, we definitely weren't responsible for it.
Yeah, had nothing whatsoever to do with that.
Yeah.
Responsibility is not a thing we do.
Exercised a combination of bribery, persuasion and corruption with an edge of threats to get information from a cab company, which has led you to a warehouse in Docklands, which those of you in Roll20 can see the general lay of the land.
Yeah.
And have had an interesting conversation with
It's a block of
one-
yappy flats that's recently been converted into a disused warehouse.
Oh, hipsters, is there no sentry that you won't attack?
ISIRTA. Right. Honestly. Right, okay, so you've had a conversation with Avod, one of the dwarven twins you saw talking to Chekhov at the British Museum, who has told you that basically him and his brother have been in hiding since they were smuggled out of Prussia ahead of Chekhov himself. That Chekhov's design, that everybody seems so gosh darn interested in, is indeed, as suspected, for the gun. Don't give me drop frames. We are not at home to Mr. Drop Frames. It's the design for the gun depicted in the large painting which was at the exhibition that gave bad vibes to Lyricane because of the presence of cold iron. Said cold iron, according to Arford, is in fact embroidery of the blueprints to the weapon into the canvas, which was then painted on top. The oil painting was then put on top. So, you've got the plans to a super weapon in a painting.
Well, we haven't got them, unfortunately.
No, not yet, at any rate.
You've got
Which we did.
a plan that Chekhov had and that Avod and his brother Arvin were not happy about. To sell the plan.
Yes.
And you have gone, well, a couple of you stayed with Avod, and I believe it was Quigley and Carter.
We went to find
Went to see Arvin, who you discovered was visiting with
Had a bit
his...
on the side.
Yes.
It was tristing, I believe, is the technical term.
Yes.
He was trysting by the pool. With a water-dwelling creature of Fae, who, when you last saw, was headed back to the Thames on the grounds that she knew what side her bread was buttered, and was not an idiot.
I can't imagine that Thames naiads would be the most delicate of creatures.
Definitely not.
They are survivors.
Not if they're anything like any of the one associated with the Thames in the Peter Grant books.
God, that is bloody terrifying.
Nothing delicate about that lot.
Yeah.
More glastic than Fae.
Well, it was the temper tantrum that resulted in flooding half the Thames Valley. It was quite amusing.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's deity influence, and sometimes it's just a lot of water coming off the Mendips or whatever. Right. So you basically headed back with Arvin to sort out what you're going to do with him and Avod, who are both in, well, let's face it, terror, because they're convinced that Benjamin Hawke, the cleaner, is going to be coming for them next. Which, to be fair, is a reasonable assumption given what he's done so far.
Somebody seems to be trying to get there first, however.
Yes. Directly outside the warehouse door, you are accosted by a group of half a dozen toughs in a section which had been written up. And most irritatingly, one note had a moment and decided to lose the end of it.
No.
That's not a problem, it's just irritating. So yes,
Oops,
you are...
it helps if I draw the right cards, doesn't it?
Whose cards were you drawing?
Sorry, I just accidentally drew from the sorcery deck instead, none of which I have. Can I just recall them? Or you can just recall them, can't you? Because
Yes.
nobody has any sorcery cards yet.
There you go.
Now I can draw from the right deck.
Let the right deck in.
That's the one.
Look, I'm
If you're going to start introducing vampire, well, they are unseelie.
Dracula is on the world tour at the moment. Let's
Yeah.
face it.
Bloody show off.
Yeah. I know.
Can we get T-shirts?
I impaled 30,000 Turks, and all I got was this lousy suit of armour.
Yay!
Right. Okay, so yes, inside you have been the Alexei and Lyricane have been sort of checking out the lie of the land, attempting some basic fortification. Largely checking out the lie of the land to make sure they knew what's what.
And making sure we had an escape route.
And trying to make sure you had an escape route, because yes, although you can get into the backyard to the warehouse, the door out of the warehouse is chained and bolted on both sides.
And also arming myself.
And also arming yourself with a big metal stick. Never underestimate the power of a big metal stick.
Indeed.
Or indeed, a very small metal stick.
Good
If
point.
it's made of cold iron.
Yeah. Right. So shift everybody across to that view. And welcome.
I spy with my little eye a warehouse of sorts.
Well, it's actually the dock
It's
outside.
actually the outside of the warehouse, yeah, but
Yeah. What do you reckon to this? Weirdly, I decided the smoke effects look better than the fog for fog, if you see what I mean.
okay.
So
Fair
it's
enough.
got
And
fog
more
on the
in
river.
keeping with Docklands and things.
Yeah, you got fog on the river.
Thames.
Yep. You got fog on the river. And the rest of it, as I had described, is basically goods and junk waiting to be boarded or transported away from ships. So, Igan has ping. You are approaching. The door is not 100% clear, but that's where it is. And what is open is the little baby side door,
Yes.
Yep.
It is.
which is built into the fabric
So-
of the main doors.
In the interests of improving your future mapping,
Yeah.
rather than actually criticizing, I would like to point out that the open door is backwards.
Is it?
Yes, because the side that is open is not the side that has the door handles on. It's not a big deal. I just wanted to make you aware so that you didn't do it again.
See, you wanted to make me aware, and more importantly, you wanted to make anybody who was watching aware that I had cocked it up.
So, anybody watching who uses Campaign Cartographer, or to be more precise, Dungeon Designer 3 in this particular instance, be aware when placing open doors of which way round they need to go.
Yeah.